Hey friends, Dave here with Transfer Express, and today we're talking all about the printing opportunities in and around motorsports. From the big leagues to the local track in your city, Motorsports Apparel is a huge market for custom t-shirts, hats, outerwear, and really so much more. So we're going to dive into how easy it is to create designs and print some merch, along with exploring some other items that you could offer. So are you ready to learn more? Let's hit the gas. If you are new to Transfer Express, we are the world's largest supplier of custom screen printed and digital heat transfers, heat presses, free customizable designs, wholesale apparel, and expert advice to help grow your t-shirt business. If you haven't already, subscribe. We're kicking out new videos like this one every single week. Now, before we dive in here, let's take a quick look at the market, the opportunities, and our target audience. Now, our main example that we're going to be focusing on here today will be race team merchandise. Showcasing a driver or team with a t-shirt is just about as classic as band t-shirts, with the same types of profit margins and collectability too. Of course, with that merch directed towards the race fans, we can't forget about the drivers themselves, the crews, any track staff, team members, or even sponsors. Here you could see everything from branded umbrellas to driver suits, although it's worth a note to be mindful of some of those fire-resistant coatings and ratings for those safety uniforms. As safety is a high priority, it's wise to check into that before decorating on those items. For our examples here today, we're going to be designing and printing for our local race team here in our backyard, Anna Martin. Now, not even old enough to get a real driver's license, Anna's been tearing it up here at a local oval track, taking some big wins early in her racing career. But for our design today, let's jump on over to the EasyView online designer to get started. Now, if you're unfamiliar, EasyView is a free online design tool that's loaded with tons of customizable layouts and clip art, all editable with just a couple clicks. You could change the content, clip art, colors, and fonts, or design from the ground up using shapes or pieces of clip art, and of course, uploading your own art too. From here, you could even mock up t-shirt designs for product photos or proofs, and even order custom heat transfers, all online without the need for a super-powered computer, expensive design software, or years of experience. All you need is an internet connection. Now, for our example today, we're going to browse in our layouts here in the sports category, and we'll go down to racing. Now, just scrolling through here, you could see tons of ideas, but I'm gonna go back up to the top to this brand new layout. With just a single click, it imports here into our editor. Now, we're going to be using our screen printed plastisol transfers today, the goof-proof screen printed transfers from Transfer Express. So we're going to be aiming for something around a 2-color print. You could see with just a few clicks here, we could start to change the name and the number, and then we could even get in and start to change some of these sponsor logos. Or if we wanted to, we could even upload our own sponsors. Then we could even customize this car, or just bring in our own stylized version of Anna's real car, replacing the stock car that was here in this layout. Now, just setting our ink colors is as easy as selecting these swatches over here on the left-hand edit menu, and we can make any additional tweaks. You could see that all of these elements could be moved independently of each other when we ungroup this layout. Now, from here, we can mock up the artwork on a t-shirt to list on a web store or share on social media for some pre-sales. Now, it truly is just as easy as clicking on the icon over here on the left-hand side, going to Use Apparel, selecting our apparel style, and placing our graphic on here. As you can see, there's fronts, backs, and even some flats as well that you could use. Now, you could download these, share them to social media to get some pre-sales or proof them with your customer. I do want to mention back here in our edit view that we see this dotted line. Now, this dotted line is denoting the sheet size of our screen printed transfer. And at Transfer Express, we actually have 2 sizes, standard and jumbo. So everything that we could fit on here ships for the same exact price, as long as it's using the same ink colors as our main artwork. So say for our example, we could fit like a left chest logo right here, and maybe even just taking the name and number for a simple center chest graphic that fits right here on the sheet. Then, once we set up our quantity, we could actually see live pricing and turn times right down here at the bottom of the designer too. We could order our transfers and get them printed. So now that they're in, back to the heat press we go. First, all we have to do is cut our graphic out of our sheet. You see how it all comes as one whole image. So here, we're gonna take our shirt and we're actually gonna load it onto our heat press. So we're gonna open it up and thread it right on. Now this is made possible on the Hotronix Auto Clam heat press that we're using today by the caddy stand. Now that's an optional accessory, but I just love how it makes the heat press number one portable, and number two gives us that full threadability, so we only have to print through one layer of fabric instead of having the second. So here we're just gonna go ahead and make sure that any collars or seams are off of the printing area. I'm just gonna check our armpits here and get ready to go. Now if you have any questions about sizing and placement or loading your heat press, we have some great videos here on the channel that are built to help you out, and we'll link them right here, and we'll also put them down in the description below. So here, once we are all centered, let's actually give this a pre-press for just 3 to 5 seconds. Being a 100% cotton blank, it's holding a lot of moisture from the air. So when we close this, you'll see some steam coming on out of the shirt. And just a quick 3 to 5 seconds allows us to get that nice and primed, ready for our transfer. Here on the front, we're going to print our full graphic. Now you can notice that I actually just took the ink to ink and folded it over and gave us a crease right here at the top and bottom of our transfer. That's going to be the center line. See how there's a little bit more paper on this side than this side? That's going to make sure that we're nice and centered. And we didn't have to take the time to cut this out. Now once we'll go ahead and lay this down right here, noting that we're straight up and down, I'm not following that angle that's on the print right there. Now I do want to check and make sure right where our print starts is pretty much right at the top of the paper, so I could size this about 3 fingers down from the collar to put it in a good location right there. Maybe 4. You can check your armpits to make sure that you're not too low. You never want to be lower than this, otherwise that turns into a belly print. And now we could press. Now Goof Proof applies in just 4 to 6 seconds at 365 degrees, making it incredibly quick, efficient, and profitable when we're counting that time is money. Here on the Hotronix Auto Clam, we'll lock it down and it's actually gonna open by itself when the timer goes off. Now, Goof Proof is a hot peel, so we're gonna peel the carrier away immediately, leaving behind a plastisol screen print that looks absolutely phenomenal here on this Port & Company PC450 fan favorite tee. Once we're all set printing the front of it, we could just take this and swap it right on over to the back, which is one of the great benefits of this full threadability and the stand it's sitting on. Now, we just check our armpits to make sure we're nice and centered and go all the way on. Then we'll back off just slightly to make sure that our collar or our tag or anything like that isn't contacting the print area. And we're nice and centered. Looks good. Because we only pre-pressed the front of the shirt, we're gonna go ahead and give a pre-press to the back as well. Now folding over our graphic, we'll do exactly the same to find where the ink lines up, and we'll give it a crease at the top and the bottom. Just gentle. We don't want to actually crease any of the ink because it could start to separate from the carrier. I got a little bit too much on that, but it should be okay. So here, we're going to go ahead and just lay this one down. And we're going to position this one, because we're going to check where the ink is. It starts about 1 finger down from the page right here, so I could account for that in our placement. So we're going to want to do about 4 fingers down. So that looks great for our placement right there. And just how I mentioned, like we follow our armpits, here we're nice and centered right in the middle of our graphic. So this is going to be a nice center back print, looking fantastic. So what do you say? We press it. Just another 4 to 6 seconds with our Goof Proof screen printed transfer, and we'll have a nice screen printed t-shirt. And a hot peel that is just effortless. It pulls right on off, and there you have it, a screen printed shirt. This screen printed design turned out absolutely fantastic. Of course, if you did want to include more detail or realism, you could actually choose one of the full color transfer types like the Ultra Color Max direct to film transfers for more photographic results. So I hope you've got some great ideas on creating apparel for motorsports, or maybe just a new niche that you could target for some added revenue for your apparel printing business. If anything, just pop on over to transferexpress.com to try out that EasyView online designer for free. All you need is a free account. And we're even going to send you a sample pack to try out the transfers that we mentioned in the video here today. As always, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the Transfer Express YouTube page right here to stay up to date on all of the helpful t-shirt printing tips, tricks, inspiration, and education that we're dropping every single week. But until next time, I'm Dave. Happy pressing.